Hey, so I wanted to make a video because I was going to film, and the day that I was going to film, I found out that my dad passed away, and it is horrible, and it is a tragic accident, and it's been a week now. It's 1 week. He passed on 10/10, and right now I am up where it happened, so I just thought maybe making this video would give me like a little more closure, because I don't live here right now. I'm in Pennsylvania where my parents live, and of course we rushed here the next day when we found out the news. And so I am currently, I'll just spin around and I'll show you. So I'm out here in the woods. These are our woods, okay? And right here behind me, I put some flowers, but right here is where they found my dad. And he had fallen from a tree stand, and they determined that the cable on the tree stand had snapped. First one, and then the second one snapped. And he fell about 20 feet, and his neck was broken instantly upon impact. And this is where they found him about probably 5 hours after he had fallen. They think it happened early in the morning, and then when he didn't come back from hunting, which is not like him, he always comes back when he says he's gonna come back. My mom called everybody, sent the searches, and it took them a long time to find him because we have about 100 acres of land and many tree stands. So so the video you saw at the beginning was me walking up this hill, and so that view would have been pretty much the last thing he would have seen. It was almost like he was just climbing the stairway to heaven, that God was like, just come to me, just come. Because really all you can see is sky when you're coming up this steep hill, and our house is right across the highway here, so you have to cross over the road to walk up this hill. And it was almost like God just said, come, now's a good time, I need you, just walk up and be with me, right? Because even the tree stand, so let me see if I can get it on camera, but even the tree stand faces up the sky. It's looking up. Here, let me go around and film it. Alright, so I flipped the camera. This is where they found him. Here. Right here. This lake. And my poor little brother, he had to see him laying here. He didn't find him. It was 2 other hunters that had found him, and they tried to do CPR, and then my brother rushed up. My mom has still not been up here. She's still not come to this site yet. She couldn't do it. But anyhow, so probably he would have walked up this hill. It's decently steep, and he would have walked right here. and he would have walked like this, and here's the stand. So this tiny ladder, and this is a high stand. I mean, it's one of the highest that I've ever seen. But there it is. He was up on that platform, and I don't know, I might not be able to tell, but it is leaning. It is like leaning on that branch. Oh, sorry. It's leaning on that branch right there because there's no cables. They snapped, and he would have fallen through all of these branches. Right to there. His buddies and my brother set up chairs here, and they were having a beer for him the other day. And that's the sign right there. So that is the that's where he fell. And the only thing that is like giving me a little bit of comfort in this time is that if he would have survived that fall, he probably would have been like a vegetable, you know? He would have just been totally, or he would have like, you know, been paralyzed or had his leg, you know, broken, whatever. Like, he would have needed a lot of help and recovery, and he wouldn't been able to be in these woods, take these walks like he does, hunt like he loves to do. And so I am just kind of thankful that that wasn't the case, because he wouldn't have wanted that. He was way too independent of a guy. He loved being outside and moving and breathing fresh air. He wouldn't have wanted to be in a hospital bed. He wouldn't have wanted my mom to care for him and cry every day worrying about him and this and that. So that's the first thing that came to my head. And the second thing is, he did have a stroke a couple of months ago, and he didn't know it, but his vision started going, well, he lost, like, he described it as like the middle of each eye. He couldn't see in the middle, right? So he could see on his peripherals, and he could see right there. But so, in other words, he lost a little bit of his vision, and just like a few days before this happened, he my mom expressed to me how like depressed he was, you know, and the doctor said it might come back in like a year, your vision, or this or that, or might not, you know. And I don't think it was improving, and I think he was getting depressed about that. And whenever I heard about his fall, my brother called me and just told me he fell from a tree stand, but he didn't say any other information. So I thought maybe he was still alive, but I think when my brother called me at that point, he was pretty certain. But he just had said like they're working on him, and that he would call me back, you know. And it wasn't long before he called me back and said he was gone. Where was I going with that? I don't remember. Oh, so he was getting depressed over his vision, and I wonder if he would have had another stroke, if he would have lost more vision or been, you know, other bad health results of that, and it would have affected him, and he wouldn't have been, you know, such the self-sufficient, manly man that he was anymore, you know. Or maybe something else would have happened, a terrible thing, like, I know that he was just having, like, aches and pains from Just being a man all his life, working hard. He was an electrician. He did everything for everybody. He would help people move. He would fix their house. He would do anything anybody needed. I mean, he was the one that everyone called on a dime when they needed help, when they needed advice on how to, fix something, or something was broken. He was extremely smart. I mean, he literally knew about everything, and he would just do stuff even for strangers. He would tow strangers. A couple of times recently he had to tow these complete strangers out of the mud, and it was a big job, and he had to do it twice, and he just never complained. And so maybe there was other things health problems or something that he was starting to feel or something, and he just never complained about it. He was just always so thankful, so happy, so down to earth. He never complained at all. So maybe there were other things that were going to transpire that would have made the road from here on out more of a struggle, because he literally went out on the top of the world. I mean, literally. But he was sufficient, extremely sharp-minded, extremely compassionate and kind, and he went out on the top of the world, All I have of him are good memories. A lot of people, when they lose a loved one, a dad or a grandfather or something, they have memories of the end where he was so sick or so, whatever, for however many months or years in a hospital, this or that. And I don't have those memories. Literally, my last memories of him are so good. And I don't know, maybe God did that for me. Maybe he did it for my dad, because maybe there was going to be struggles from here on out. I don't know. I'm not sure. When I was walking up here, there was a deer standing right by these chairs. I think it was a doe. I don't know if my dad would want to go into the soul of a doe. Maybe. Maybe if that's all that was available, he would. My dad was so funny. He was always finding the humor and stuff. He was so down to earth. He didn't need fancy things. He just needed his woods and his family and his friends and a beer. I mean, he was the best guy. We had almost 250 people come to pay their respects. And it was so touching, because everybody had a tear in their eye and a kind word to say. Not even just a generic he was a good guy. No, they were oh, he helped me in this situation, or he really built me up in this time in my life, or I respected him for this or for that. It was such specific stories that were in their heart. They meant it. And I already knew that was going to be the case. I knew. I said, Mom, this is going to be a gigantic amount of people. She was like, I know. My mom's hanging in there pretty good. I'm really impressed with her. And my brother too. Sorry, I didn't bring my tripod because I didn't think about filming when I left. But it's supposed to rain the next 2 days, and then I'm leaving because we're getting a new roof on our house and we gotta go back right now. But I wanted to come up here and I only came up here one other time with 5 of my dad's friends and my uncles. He had a lot of brothers and sisters, but my uncles and a couple of his friends, and then my brother and a couple cousins of mine and stuff. We came up here the day after I got in, so it would have been 2 days after it happened. And I said, Mom, I have to go back up there just one more time because it might be pouring down rain the next 2 days. So I wanted to come because it's so beautiful out today. It's perfect. It's like 60 degrees right now. Bugs. The sun is like so perfect. The sky is so beautiful. I am he loved this time of year, you know, fall, turning a little bit chilly. The bugs are dying down. What was I saying about, oh, my last memories of my dad are so good. Hello. They're so good. We were here visiting, and he took my son, his only grandson, my 3-year-old, that he just loved so much. I mean, the joy you would see with those two was unmatched, and in turn it was the most joy that I've ever felt, seeing my dad with my son. But the last memories I have were him taking my son out on the tractor and mowing, taking him on the 4x4 and going through these paths. And so over here where I am, where he fell, the tree stand, I think it's kind of like newer, because my dad, he just liked to buy land. He just kept buying land when it would become available or whatever. So now we have a lot of land over here. But this part up this hill that I was talking about is, it's kind of like newer. And so since I haven't lived in Pennsylvania for a few years now, well, more than that, but he took me and my son up here on the 4x4, side by side, whatever it's called. It's not a golf cart, it's not a go-kart, it's like 4 wheels. Anyway, he took us up here and he was like, yep. He was like, this, you might not have seen this area yet. And I was like, no, I haven't. And he literally, we drove by right here, because this is like the clearing right here. So we drove by here and he was like, I gotta stand here. And he pointed over there, I gotta stand there. But he literally pointed at this stand. I remember having like almost like a subconscious thought, like, dang, that's high. I don't know. Because there's one right across from this one that my brother pointed out. And it's like way lower. Like, it's low. Like, I almost feel like I could jump and touch it. But this one was almost like a guarantee, like, if you fall, you're done. Like, there's just no way. I don't know if I'm rambling. I mean, this is kind of helping me, just being up here alone. So I just wanted to do one more thing, and that was read what I read for everybody at the funeral, because I want his memory to live on. Like, he influenced me in such a good way. I mean, he was an all-around perfect dad, perfect man. So I just want to read this, because if you didn't know my dad, this might give you an idea of who he was. My dad's name was Kent, by the way. There's a cute little groundhog that I see right now. All right, here we go. Thank you all for coming to honor our dad. I want us to celebrate his life, just like he did every day. He woke up with a grateful heart. He would breathe the fresh air and truly give thanks for that air in his lungs. He was a down-to-earth man and knew what was really important in life. He didn't need much, just family, friends, and a good old white t-shirt. That's what he wore. We can all agree that he cast a gentle comfort over a room when he would walk in. He was a friend to all, giving blood, sweat, and tears to anyone who needed it, even a stranger, and he'd never ask for anything in return. Nothing was ever too tough, too inconvenient. He'd do it with a smile, a joke, and maybe a good piece of wise advice. You could always count on him for help, for love, for a good laugh. He never judged you or made you feel inferior or left out. He gave everyone a chance. Let's honor him now by helping each other, giving a smile or a handshake to someone who seems lonely. He taught me how to really become a wholesome person, to fully feel joy when things are good, and to truly feel pain when things are hard. He was a man of God, a holy man. Even his t-shirts. He really would wear those shirts till they had holes and they were rags. And my mom was like, please let me get you new shirts. He was like, this one's still good. I don't need it. Like, he always forgave. He never lived with anger in his heart. Recently, he said something to me I'll never forget. He literally said this to me, like, I think it was like, not the trip that I was talking about where he was taking my son around on the tractor, but the time before that, whenever he visited us in Florida. We were just having like a conversation just like about life, and he literally said this. He said, Kel, I never want to do wrong by anyone because then it's going to be on my conscience. When it's my time to go, I can go in peace because I've done my best and live right by God. Our Aunt Lenny said it perfectly. He had the skill of his father and the kindness of his mother. He passed all these qualities on to my little brother Mitch. He cared for our wonderful mother the best way a man could. All his brothers and sisters, their spouses and children were so precious to him. He adored his grandson, Blake, mine and my husband's son. His love for all of us was infinite, and he never missed a chance to show that to us. The depth of a soul like his is no doubt an angel that God could no longer wait for. We will feel his absence in all our lives. And there is an emptiness that will echo through these woods where he took his last earthly breath. I'm so proud to call him my dad. I think he was 64. I mean, he was young. It feels like way too soon, especially because my 3-year-old loved him so much. There was such a life I wanted them to have together. So much stuff that I wanted him to learn and values that I wanted him to gain and learn from just spending time with his granddad. Luckily, my little brother really is like a spitting image of my dad. Like, my brother is so strong, so kind, so helpful, so smart. Like, let me read you what my brother said, because we went up together. So after I said all that, my brother Mitch says, hello everyone, thank you for being with us today. Kel is better with words than I am, so I'm just gonna say this. Dad was a self-made man, and a part of that was making us and making this life for us. And for that, I will always be in his debt. Everything I am, I owe to that man. He did his best, providing absolutely everything we ever needed. I hope his drive, grit, and compassion are with each and every one of you. And when life gets difficult, I want you to remember my dad and push through that task, that obstacle, and accomplish all your goals, just like him. I just wanted to make this video because I was gonna film the day that I found out about everything, and I didn't want to have like a long introduction to my next video. I just want to be like, here's something cool. So in a few days I'm gonna post that one, but right now this is what I'm doing, and I thank you for watching. If you are still with me now, just just remember that family is the most important thing. Like, materials don't matter. You know, status, money, like, those are all secondary things. And you have to spend the time with your family while you have them. It's so beautiful. The sun is so gorgeous right now. And also, if you know people that hunt, tell them to check their tree stands. Like, I don't know how you do that or how you test them or whatever. My uncle or somebody climbed up there when we were here the other day, and they said that there was like tape, electrical tape, which he used for like everything around one of the things, and that it looked like one of the parts was like rusted out or something. So I don't know, just like be safe when you're hunting, you know. And of course, like with the weapons and stuff, he fell with his bow and arrow, and it went through, like it got crushed like a little bit, so he didn't even have a chance to like strap himself to the tree or anything. It must have been instant. He must have literally stepped on that platform and went down. Alright, next video is not going to be a sad one. Alright, God bless everyone.